What's up, everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of Winning Picks Weekly. And oh man, week 1 was an absolute roller coaster. No matter what fan you are of any team, you're just a fan of football. It was an absolute roller coaster. If you rolled with us week 1, you must have had a hell of a time, especially if you went through my best bets. If you were listening to Greg, you had a hell of a time on the other side of the roller coaster. So let's just start it off right off the bat, man. How you doing? How's your week? How's your week 1? How'd you do? And real quick, what did you think of the Jets? You're a Jets fan. Like, there's Jets in your background right now. It's Jets in my background right now. Let's just talk about the Jets first, real quick. Get out of our system.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in last week's episode, I listen to what you guys talk about on Knicks, Jets, etc. So if somehow you're listening to this and you don't follow that, you got to go listen. You got to go follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I've been listening to you guys from the jump. I'm not as high on the Jets as you guys are. And I liked what I saw last week. I had the Panthers. I thought the Panthers were going to win. Depending on what line you got, they ended up covering too, which is nice. But
good teams win, great teams cover, Greg.
That's the mantra of a lifetime right there. So if you got them and they covered, then it was an awesome week for a Jets fan. If you got them and they didn't cover, it is what it is.
What'd you think of Zach?
I live bet it, so I got a cover on it. I was happy about that. My biggest takeaway from the Jets game, and it was just so refreshing to see second half adjustments.
Yes.
If I can sum it up in one
we have
sentence,
a coach.
Oh my God, we have a coach. If we have a coach and we have a front office that's hopefully doing the right things, Joe Douglas, I think a lot of people like him. I think, the jury's still out for me on everything that he's doing. So, but
do we have a quarterback?
We'll see. I think that he had a great week 1 performance. If you look at all the rookie quarterbacks, I think he did, top of the class there. Him and even though, Trevor Lawrence threw 3 picks, I think he had a pretty good week too. Not just
We'll jump into it. We'll jump into your Survivor pick, Jacksonville pick. You want to start there?
That's a tough one.
Let's start there.
Yeah, we can jump into it, but we can jump into it. I want to hear your takes, though. I just want to hear real quick if you could sum up the Jets' week into a sentence or two. What are your takeaways from the Jets' week 1 performance?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm so excited about week 2 in football that I forgot to introduce to our audience. This is Greg. This is Greg. This is our video producer. He's now on camera. And he's finally not just a God voice telling you about his terrible picks on week 1.
Yeah, we're figuring this out. We're getting the video. We're working on the video, working on the audio, getting all this stuff flowing. So, yeah, I'm happy to be on video this week. Happy to have a mic this week. And, we're just going to keep steady improving. So we're going to steady improve in the production of the show. We're going to steady improve in the content and the flow of the show. Now that it's just week to week, we're not doing the futures and all that stuff. And guarantee right now we will steady improve on our picks as we go. So
deal.
Yep. So can't really get worse.
It definitely cannot get worse.
Yeah.
So, but just to touch on the Jets.
Yeah.
Dude, the first half was a tough scene. It was a really tough scene from everything. Our left tackle was playing bad.
Yep.
Okay, to begin with. Our center was playing horrible. Our right guard, awful. Okay. The Christian McCaffrey was killing us. Sam Darnold, touchdown to Robbie Anderson. I mean, everything.
The Jets celebration after, that was tough to see.
Jets celebration. Our punter gets hurt.
That was terrifying, actually, when that happened. That was like first drive, second drive. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was such a blur. That was terrifying.
So, I'm happy for how we pushed back in the second half, because I was saying, you talking about live bets, and this is the betting podcast.
Yeah,
I hammered the Jets second half because I couldn't believe that it was only a 2-possession game. We should have been down 35-0.
Yeah, and like I said, that Corey Davis should have had a touchdown. He got ran down by someone. I mean, it should have been a lot closer than what it was. So, not the result we wanted, but happy with how we performed, happy with what we showed. It wasn't as embarrassing as some teams like Jacksonville and like other teams. So, I'm happy about
Like
that.
your survivor pick.
Yeah, it was a tough one. And you know, I don't have to dive into it too much, but the philosophy was right, the theory was right. I was on the wrong side of it, so that's my
Okay,
takeaway from that.
we'll
That's
get
my
into it.
sleep zone.
We'll get into it
Yeah.
because how we're gonna start these shows now that we got the intros out of the way, and we're gonna be acclimated with Greg and his Jets background, as if he's in this press conference. Hopefully, he does better than the Jets
Yep.
uh, from week to week. But we're gonna start off with what have you learned, and we're gonna talk about what we learned from week one. But first, we're gonna start off with our best bets, right? So I went 2-for-1
Yeah, let's recap last week. Yep.
with Philadelphia and which was I believe one of the easiest
One of the
picks
easiest bets you could have ever placed.
along with Arizona. That was easy for me, and I was a little betting with my heart that the Patriots would win week one. You know, just cover that spread, win week one, so that they come to week two 1-0.
Yep.
And you know, it's a little bit easier, you know, on the heart, a 1-1 rather than 0-2 start.
Oof.
But I'm 2-1 on the best bets, and honestly, what I learned from at least the best bets is I was honestly correct about Philadelphia's offensive line and defensive line, and Jalen Hurts is pretty good, and Devontae Smith, like they're pretty good, man. Kenneth Gainwell, they're a solid squad. I honestly think they're gonna win the division. You should hit that at plus 500.
Yeah, if you can. Yep.
The second thing I learned was Arizona is for real, but they're not that for real.
Kyler Murray MVP gave it out before week one.
It was beautiful. I mean, I have Arizona division too, so I mean, we're on Arizona,
Yeah,
but
we were both on Arizona. Yep.
I don't think they're this good. So I mean, I learned that they're good, but I think
well,
I think
the whole
there's going to be
NFC West one. So it's like even though they looked very good, they didn't improve anything, which worries me a little bit.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And the third thing I learned was Mac Jones ain't ready.
Oh.
Mac Jones ain't ready. Those are the three things I learned from my best bets, man. So talk to me about your bet. And my survivor, I had Arizona, so that clicked for me. Yeah. So tell me about your best bets and your survivor and what you learned from them.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So again, survivor, I think I had the right idea. I think week one, you look at two teams that stink, and if you're trying to win this long term, you don't want to blow good teams early. You want to wait and try to save them for later down the road. You could have went with the Rams. You could have went with the 49ers. That's fine. I took a shot on the Jacksonville. If you took a shot on the Texans, you're jumping up and down because there's a chance that that's the only game they win all year. You got them out of your survivor pool way, and you're moving on. So, wasn't great showing. One of the things, one of my takeaways, and I have to like remind myself this year in year out. Like I need to start like a Google Calendar just for gambling and stuff like that. It's like the teams we saw last year are not the teams that we're going to see this year, and the teams we saw in preseason are not the teams we're going to see on the field week one. So, yeah, the Packers look good. The Packers kicked our ass in joint practices and all that stuff. Packers came out and laid a dud. So, just because teams look good last year going into this year, just because they brought in a lot of pieces and stuff like that, week one is scary. One thing that I learned for week one is that the underdogs killed it. I think they went 12-4 or something like that. So, take the points. Something my grandfather always said growing up, and something I don't know why I didn't. It's take the points, take the points, take the points. The points are hard to come by in the NFL. It's not easy out there. So take the points. If you took the points week one, you did great. I think I went 0-3 in my best bets. Of course, I had two favorites there. So Buffalo Bills, I mean, I don't know what I need to say about them. As a Jets fan, I was happy to see them absolutely implode. I think they were up 10-0 in the third or fourth quarter. 4th and 1 play. I don't know if you saw the play. Absolutely disgusting. They're in Steelers territory, 4th and 1. They fake a handoff to the halfback, and then Josh Allen does like a spin move, and then shovel passes it backwards to the running back, and then he gets tackled for a 5-yard loss. It's like, dude, just run the ball for 6 inches, and you got the first down, and we're driving. You could go down and you score. You go up 13-0, 17-0, and the game's over. But they blew it. Steelers defense is for real. If you had the Steelers for division bet, I think that you're pretty happy about the way they showed up. The offense didn't look incredible, but the defense looks legit. So yeah, I mean that was kind of what I learned.
I mean that's what the Steelers are all about, man. The Steelers are all about running the ball and playing defense. And I'm personally, I'm happy about my Steelers division pick.
Yeah.
I'm happy about my Arizona pick, like you had mentioned. But you know what? We're in week 2, and every team is still playing. So we can go through the slate. We can go through the teams, and we can talk about what we learned while we go through the slate. But as always, Greg, we have to start with the Thursday game.
Okay.
The worst night in football. But this week, it's actually a really quote unquote good game because it's going to be close. Yeah, you know, it's definitely going to be close. I mean, they're either both going to be. It's either going to be like a really under game or really over game. I can't see like a blowout either way. But well, I mean, of course, we will see. Interdivision game: New York Giants, Washington football team. What do you got, man? -3 Washington.
Yeah, so it's -3 Washington. If you look at the line, it opened at 4.5, so it's moved a little bit. Looking at it earlier today, so I just pulled it up again. It was 50-50 on the money. Right now, it's closer to 60-40 with Washington getting bet a little heavier. So that concerns me a little bit. When it was 50-50, the line was moving down. I was really on the Giants because when the games are bet 50-50, I don't expect the line to move at all. So why it was moving down, I'm not really sure. Now that there's 60% of the money on Washington, it's moving the correct direction. It should be going lower. Actually, no, it should be going higher. So it is reverse line movement for the Giants. So it makes me like my pick even more. I mean, I had the Giants earlier today. They were 3.5. It's 3 right now. So yeah, I like the Giants here in this one. Like you said, I think it's a close game. I think Washington. I had a big bet on the Chargers in week 1. And the Chargers were just moving the ball down the field. That Washington defense. That's what I was talking about earlier when I said, like, you know, what did I learn from week 1? It's the teams that we saw last year aren't the teams that we're going to see week 1. I don't know if they're the teams we're going to see week 2. So the Washington defense could not stop the Chargers at all. Obviously, the Giants looked terrible on offense and defense last week, so I'm a little concerned about that. But I think it's going to be closer. I think the Washington defense is going to take a little while to get going. And I like the points. Give me the Giants. What do you like in this game?
We're on opposite sides, man. We're on opposite sides on Thursday. I don't like to bet against backup quarterbacks. I know that's weird, especially on their first game, and especially because I don't really give that much of a downgrade from Fitzmagic to Heineke. Like I just don't like. Yeah, like what? How many points? Like half a point on this on the spread? Like what are we talking about here? Not much. So
yeah,
when we talk about the strengths of Washington, which is their D line, and the absolute weakness of the Giants, which is their O line.
Yep.
I have to go with Washington -3, which is an even game, right? If we're talking about lines, 3 is the typical home field advantage. So if it's -3, it's essentially a pick 'em.
Yep.
Washington wins by a field goal. It's a push, which is most likely how it's going to end up.
Yep.
But I'll take Washington on that. And if you have to take the over-under for some reason, I would hit the under.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I wonder how that's getting bet right now. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that. The backup quarterback scares me a little bit. A lot of money's on the over. 80% of the money's on the over right now, so it makes me like the under even more.
There's a money bet there, man. Hit the under in Washington, and you'll be happy, in my opinion. But this is not a game I would like to bet.
No.
But if you had to, I would take Washington and the under. But in general, this would be a pass for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Giants just because a little bit of the line movement that I wasn't really expecting. Like you said, backup quarterback in Washington. I mean, Heineke's all right. I think Fitzmagic's a little bit better than him. And also, too, for me, it's like this early in the season, like Fitzpatrick's been getting like all the first team reps, all the practice going into the season, all that stuff. So that makes me worried a little bit for Heineke.
No tape, baby. No tape.
Tape, and the Giants can absolutely lay an egg at any point. So yeah,
I mean, Danny Jones is literally addicted to turnovers.
He can't.
So he's
gonna get fumbling.
I can't say anything like it.
He can't stop. Like I breathe air, he fumbles the ball. It's unbelievable.
It's unreal. So let's get into the 1 o'clocks, man. We got Buffalo at Miami +3.5. One of your best bets. right? You had Buffalo in there, so that was an L. And I had one of my best bets was Patriots Miami, and I had an L there. So
Yep.
we're both kind of looking at this game. To me, this is another pass personally,
Okay.
and
What's the spread on this one? 3.5.
3.5 Miami at home,
Give me
which
Miami
is
all day long.
which is
This honestly, now that we're talking about it, it's not going to be one of my best bets. But how do you not take Miami? Home
which
team
is
getting 3.5. It's a gorgeous thing. Buffalo did not look like they could handle a good defense. Miami has a good defense. Miami looked okay on offense, just like the Steelers looked okay on offense. I think Miami's coming off a big win. I think Miami might be playing for the season right now. It's like if you could beat New England and Buffalo week 1, the two favorites to win the division, you're up 2-0 against these teams. I mean, that's an incredible spot to be if you're in Miami. So I like Miami. I like the points. Like I said, the dogs were barking last week, so I like a lot of the points this week. 75% of the money's on Buffalo right now. Line hasn't moved. Fade the public. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean the Dolphins are hard. It's hard not to take the Dolphins 3.5 at home.
Yeah.
I hate it. Absolutely hate that the public is on Buffalo. But there are a couple teams this week, specifically four, and Buffalo is one of them that I'm rolling with the public this week.
Ooh.
I'm a big fade the public guy,
Sure.
but we all have pick'em leagues. I'm in a pick'em league. You're in pick'em leagues. We have
Yep.
to take every single game on the board. There's four teams this week, four public teams that I'm rolling with. One is Buffalo, and we'll get to the others, but I'll shout
Yep.
them out right now: Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and Denver.
Okay.
Four public teams that I'm on.
Can't wait to
I
talk
think
about the
that
Falcons game.
yeah, I believe that the Buffalo Steelers game is going to change people's perception, right? Oh, I think Buffalo is going to be a little down.
I don't know.
Maybe Miami's a
75% of the
little
people are
up.
betting on Buffalo. I don't know if it did change the perception. It's kind of surprising me.
That is interesting, especially because 3.5 feels like they're begging me to take Miami.
Yep. And no
It's
one's doing
interesting.
it. And no one's doing it, which is makes you wonder if the line's going to move a little bit to try to get this closer to 50-50. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that's where Vegas wants it, right? Vegas wants it at 50-50 for each game. So if they have to move a line, they'll move a line. Right now, it's a little early in the week, so nothing's doing. But like you said, the 3.5, especially with the hook out there, they're trying to get people to bet on the Dolphins, and people aren't doing it. So I don't know if people just weren't really impressed with the Dolphins week 1. There's just I don't know if Buffalo's becoming one of these like public teams, like kind of like the Steelers are, definitely like the
That's a good point.
Cowboys
That's a good
are.
point. That's a good
Maybe
point.
Buffalo's just become this public team where people are just gonna be betting them week in and week out. I don't know. I like the Dolphins in this one though.
That's a good point. All right, we're on opposite sides the first two games.
Whew.
Let's jump it up to
The group chat's gonna be buzzing this weekend if we keep going this way.
yeah, absolutely. Let's jump it up to another public team that I was talking about, and it's against your Survivor, and
Okay.
that's Denver at Jacksonville. Jacksonville catching 6 at home, and their home opener. You got Urban Meyer just being absolutely. I mean, to me, Urban Meyer is exactly what I thought he was.
Yeah, you called Urban Meyer from a mile away. I did not see this coming. I mean, just looked unbelievably undisciplined. Looks like he doesn't want to be there. I mean, just antics after antics. Team Tebow should have been a sign. Like, not looking
It's
good right
tough.
now for Jacksonville. Yep.
Tough, looking good for our. I mean, we're still tied at 0 wins for our offseason bet.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm still looking good. I
You
feel
obviously
like
feel a lot
I have a
better than
moral
I do right
W.
now.
I have a
Yep.
moral W. But sticking to this game, Denver looked pretty good. I mean, we were both down on Denver. I know I'm specifically down on Denver this
You were
year.
down on Denver. I don't know if I was as much. I had them
Okay.
last week. I thought they were good. I
Yeah,
think
that's
they're
true. Just on
okay.
the full season. I mean, I
Yeah.
was thinking about them to have the worst record. Like, right,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, didn't
so,
agree with that. I think their defense is pretty good.
okay. So, what do you think about Jacksonville +6 at home in their home opener?
Jacksonville.
Okay.
All day, Jacksonville. I mean, home team getting points. 75% of the money's on the public. The line opened at 6.5. It moved to 6. It shouldn't have moved to 6. It should have moved to 7. That's giving me indications of some reverse line movement. Again, it's it's early in the week, so we'll see how the line actually moves and how the public actually bets as we get closer to the game. But if this line keeps going down, if you see this line around like +5, I mean, nobody's gonna get the 4. So
Yeah.
+5, +5.5, I'm taking that all day long.
Is this your hold your nose pick of the week?
It honestly might be. I mean, the Broncos I don't feel like are that crazy. I mean, I think they're good. I think Teddy Bridgewater's like a covering machine, so that's what gives me a little bit of pause on this. They lost Jerry Jeudy last week, obviously. That's unfortunate. They broke one big play with Melvin Gordon, but I didn't really see too much from their rushing attack that scared me. So, I think there's some bigger, like, lopsided matchups this week that I'm going to be taking as a hold your nose pick, but Jacksonville definitely has, I mean, they have their work cut out for them. I mean, like I said, I think Trevor Lawrence looked okay. Definitely some rookie mistakes, but 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Kept coming up, kept firing. I mean, they had like almost like 100 penalty yards. They were, like I said, undisciplined.
Dude, Von Miller's about to kill him. I don't know. Von Miller is so back. Like Denver, I rewatched the Denver game, dude. I still don't love the offense.
Yeah.
Jerry Judy's hurt for a long time.
Yeah.
I think they're still gonna have to get it together.
Coming off an ACL, so
they're gonna take time, but they're gonna absolutely ruin Trevor Lawrence. So
I mean, people in the Giants game just weren't blocking Von Miller, so I don't know how much stock I put in a Von Miller stock right now, just because
it's gonna be the same thing with Jackson.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. So this is another public team that I'm personally rolling with.
Yep,
and we're on opposite sides of that one as well. And let's jump to another public team that I'm rolling with, which I generally. I'm a dog guy. Usually like points like you. I like money lines, but I'm rolling with the public here too, and double-digit points in week 2, man. I know. It's the most Joe bet. It's the most Joe Schmo public bet, but I'm doing it. Tampa Bay minus 12.5 at home versus the absolutely sorry Atlanta Falcons. My best bet, worst record of the year, coming to fruition. You can't not have a left guard. You can't have Matt Ryan. You can't have Ridley being your number 1. You can't have no defenders and tell me this team's going to win the division. People are absolutely drove me nuts, dude.
Yeah.
The offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons are about to get absolutely massacred by Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones is coming back for Tampa. He's going to want to get some runs in. They're going to run the ball a million times. That's the only thing that gives me pause.
Yeah.
Is if Atlanta just by accident scores, once or twice, which they're eventually going to score. It can even be on the first drive.
They didn't score last week. I mean, they kicked field goals, but
I know. You're right. But even a couple field goals, man. So, 12.5, they might just start running the ball. Tom Brady likes to manage the clock, but I'm throwing my my money on Shaq Barrett and Tampa Bay at minus 12.5 just to absolutely massacre the line. Like, I just don't think they're going to have a chance. They're going to screen to Ridley 650 times. Like, that's the only game plan I could possibly think of.
Even that's going to be tough. I mean, that Tampa Bay defense got lit up week 1, but I think the Dallas Cowboys offense is for real. When you take a step down to this Atlanta offense that you said, like, couldn't even get anything going against the Eagles, I mean, I think Tampa Bay is going to feast. But I wanted your talk on it because I wanted to hear what you were thinking. I said week 1, I'm the worst Atlanta Falcons better of all time. I want to be known as the worst Atlanta Falcons better of all time. And I am taking the Atlanta Falcons this week. Love it.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
12 points. Love 12.5 points.
That's perfect. I mean, Shaq Barrett is the best defensive end in the league. And he's going up against one of the worst offensive lines in the league. And just based on that tiny little fact, there's literally no chance Atlanta could win this game. I know that it's a Joe Schmo pick, but I'm gonna go with Tampa. And
good teams win, great teams cover. You said it yourself, though. They don't have to win. They just got to give me. You got to get within 12 points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely hitting the first half here.
Okay.
Personally, but I do like Tampa, and to round it out with the public Joe Schmo bets is a Sunday Night Football game, which is honestly one of the most anticipated games of the week.
Yeah,
and usually of the year, but not this year for some weird reason. I think it's due to some injuries. But it's Kansas City at Baltimore. Baltimore catching plus 3.5. The hook. They came off a weird game versus the Raiders, that overtime loss, which it was just a bunch of Lamar Jackson runs and a couple throws here and there. They're depleted everywhere.
Yeah.
They're having a tough time, and it really looks like it. Talk about a preseason team, right? The undefeated preseason Baltimore
Yep.
Ravens.
And then they get smacked by the lonely Raiders week 1. So, I mean, not smacked,
Tough,
but overtime
tough, and
touchdown.
usually this is like one of the most anticipated games of the year. You know what I mean? The two teams
Yeah.
that are usually anticipated to be in the AFC Championship game. Lamar
Yeah.
versus Mahomes. Who's better? Now we have Watkins switching teams. Watkins revenge game. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
He had a
Things are
big play.
happening. Usually this line is a little bit closer, but it's 3 in the hook.
Yep.
It, that screams to me like people should take Baltimore in a normal world.
Yep.
My hot take going on. Can I give you a hot take right now?
Sure. You give me a hot take, and then I got a stat for you. I gotta pull it up real quick. So give me that hot take.
My hot take, Greg, that Kansas City O-line has not been factored into Vegas yet.
Okay.
Because everybody's saying, oh, offensive line needs to mesh, offensive line needs time. They haven't gotten it together yet. They didn't look so great last week. They had a couple of Hail Marys, right? The highlight right now is Mahomes talking about how he just throws it up to Tyreek Hill and he randomly catches it. All the, just these little fun tidbits.
Yep.
And it's all about how the offensive line hasn't gotten it together yet. I think they have one of the most stout offensive lines for years and years and years to come. I'm actually I love their
Really?
offensive line. I absolutely love their offensive line. And so I would hammer Kansas City first half and I would hammer Kansas City full game. I think they're going to absolutely cream the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens after this game are going to go into emergency mode.
Yeah, I mean after losing last week and then losing this week at home, it would be tough.
Because it's going to be like, hey, look, we lost in overtime to the Las Vegas Raiders in their home opener. Okay, we get it. We lost our home opener to Kansas City, the best team in the AFC. We get it. They can talk themselves out of it, and they'll probably bounce back week 3. But I think this is going to send them into a little bit of a panic mode after going 0-2 and not covering 0-2 normal and 0-2 against the spread. They were favorites last week.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore favorites, but so were Kansas City. And Kansas City, they had a little scare going in the first quarter. I mean, 14-0.
They always do.
Yeah, they always do.
They're not a first half
They're
team.
They're never out of it. They're never out of it.
Don't bet Kansas City first half. That's not what you do. You bet Tampa Bay first half, not Kansas City.
Yeah, to kind of back up what you're saying, I was reading a fan-sided article, so shout out fan-sided. They have some great stuff up there, and I was reading something about Kansas City. It's Pat Mahomes averages 330 yards per game in September, has thrown 35 touchdowns, no interceptions, and is 11-0 in his career in September. He's the perfect.
They're gonna win this game by I would say 17. That would honestly be guess.
Yeah, honestly, it might not be a bad look to look at the alternate line, but I'm sticking to it. I'm coming out. I'm trying to win these games. I'm not going to hit every home dog, and this is probably one that this might be a hold your nose game because Kansas City looked that good on offense, and the Ravens did not look good on defense. But I'm going Baltimore Ravens on this one. Home team getting points. 80% of the money's on the Chiefs. I mean, Vegas needs to win this game and this game alone this week to make money. So, give me the Ravens getting points at home. I think they come out. I think they come out, and it's one of those things where I think they get close at the end. I think they might come out.
So you're just fading the public? Are you just fading the public?
I'm trying to fade the public. I'm trying to take home dogs. I'm trying to take the points. Trying to do everything that a good gambler should be doing. Because week 1 I did not. Week 1 I had favorites all over the place. I was riding the public. And the public's just never right. There's a reason why Vegas is Vegas, and there's a reason why, people lose their shirts gambling. So, going with the Ravens, taking the points at home. Like I said, this might be one of my hold your nose picks, just because the Chiefs can score. I mean, you saw with Tyreek Hill, they came out, got the ball back, 75-yard touchdown after getting scored on. So the Chiefs can put it up as fast as anyone, but I think the Ravens, while their offense is depleted with injuries, I was kind of surprised at the offense through most of that game last week, just because the people that are stepping up are playing well. They brought Sammy Watkins in. He had a couple good plays. I'm gonna blank on the running back's name right now that's running for him, just because they lost so many people already. No, for the Ravens, was it Johnson? Tashawn? Johnson or whatever. He broke like a big touchdown or whatever at one point in the game for the Ravens. So the pieces that are stepping in are stepping up. So
I hope that Le'Veon Bell steps up in there, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah, I think Murray's going to get more burn than him, but
Trenton Cannon just got picked up by another team. They have a running back carousel out there. That's why I don't know who's there at this
but you got
very
Lamar
exact
Jackson.
moment.
I mean, I think he had over 75.
He's the number one runner.
Yards. Yeah,
that's the whole thing. They don't need a run. They don't. He is the running back.
He's a video game. So again, just as much as the Kansas City Chiefs, you're never out of it. I really do feel like with Lamar Jackson on the field, if there's weapons there,
he's so good.
You're never out of it too.
Dude,
so
he's unbelievably good.
I think at home the Ravens crowd's going to get going a little bit. Kansas City's going to be on the road, primetime game. I don't know. I see weird things happening, just like we saw weird things happening in Week 1. So
okay,
yeah, I like the Ravens in this one.
This is a semi hold your nose pick, but
yeah.
let's
one
go
nostril,
to your
not the whole nose.
All right, what's the whole nose? What's your hold your nose? You just have to take it this week because your dumb gambling brain says you have to take it.
Yep.
But you just don't want it. Like if everything in your whole life says do not take this, but your dumb gambling brain says I have to hold my nose and take it. It's just too much. Like, what is your pick of the week?
So I'm trying to go back to what I said to start the episode. What we saw last week, or what we saw last year, is not indicative of what we're going to see week 1. This is what we've seen over the last 20 years. It's not indicative of what we're going to see, hopefully, on Sunday, the way I'm going with this. But everything I've seen since I've been a small child has told me to pick Green Bay when they play against the Detroit Lions.
Yes,
Green Bay at home. No matter what the spread is, no matter who's quarterbacking, if it's Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers,
yes.
Take Green Bay Packers at home against.
We've been
the Lions.
blessed to have good Green Bay Packers our whole lifetimes.
Yeah,
like both of our lifetime.
It's incredible.
Green Bay has been good, it's been nice.
80% or 70% of the money's on Green Bay. Spread's 11, not that crazy. I'm taking the Detroit Lions. That's that's your hold the nose. That's everything in my brain has telling me take the Packers, but my dumb gambling brain cannot unsee what I saw last week, and that was Aaron Rodgers putting up 3 points against the Saints, who I don't think are going to be that good this year, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe the Saints are a lot better than what I expected. And then the Detroit Lions putting up 30-something points against the San Francisco 49ers, who I think are going to be pretty good this year. So, granted, a lot of it was backdoor, late game, all that stuff, but I think Jared Goff looked a lot better than what people expected. I think Hawkinson's Hawkinson. I think both of the running backs played well. So, I don't know. For some reason,
Jamal Williams revenge game
Jamal
Monday
Williams
night
revenge game. I mean, he had like 20-something fantasy points this week. This is my hold my nose. Throw out the record books. Forget everything you've ever known about Detroit and Green Bay. I'm taking the Detroit Lions. What do we got? A +11, +10.5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me the
Plus
Detroit
11.
Lions +11. Green Bay wins
the
by
line's
touchdown
moving at the moment. It's moving,
goal.
and let's talk about lines. This is the exact. Honestly, Greg, this is the perfect transition. Real quick to talk about lines because the Lions last week, depending on where you got them, would be if you covered.
Yeah,
and
sure.
it might be again this week, depending on where you get them. If you wait a little bit, if the public is on Green Bay and you on Detroit, wait on it. I mean, you might get it at 12 even. If it's at 11, if it's moving, it's moving. And
I mean, we can do entire episodes about like how to break down lines, the psychology of Las Vegas and how they set lines and all that stuff. I mean,
sure. Yeah, but just for our purposes, and I just want to know, from week 1, and we're doing the whole slate, and we're giving insight into every single game of every single week of football.
Yep.
However, lines move, and so we just talk about what the lines are currently, and we try to guide you into what you'll take. So, in this case, for me, I'm not taking Detroit unless it's 14.5. Okay. So I'm not taking. So for me, personally, this is not my hold the nose pick. This is my take Green Bay pick because they are about to absolutely wreck Detroit. So
I can't believe we're opposite on every game.
So I loved Detroit going into it. I was all over the Detroit train.
Yep.
Right. I think they showed up and did exactly at the end there what I thought they'd do all game. Right. Like I wasn't surprised that they were coming back. They're good. They got Goff likes his tight ends. They got nice running backs. They have receivers that can make some catches. Like they're okay. But I think that offensive line, they had their honeymoon phase. They had their week 1 honeymoon against the San Francisco 49ers, who usually take some time. They have a bunch of rookie coordinators. We took their head coach. The Jets took their coach. It's going to take some time for their cornerbacks are quite honestly terrible, but we'll get into that.
Hurt too,
yeah, their secondary is bad. So San Francisco is not that good, and Detroit was able to move the sticks on them late in the game.
Yep.
I believe that preseason Detroit Packer defense is going to absolutely wreck Detroit. And then on top of that, we had the Aaron Rodgers factor, where just kind of go off on a quick tangent. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that anyone could even say that Aaron Rodgers is playing like he's trying to give it to the Packers or make a statement. He already made the statement. He already got his contract changed.
Yep.
That's it. It's over. He already got his free agency next year. He can't do anything else. He's not getting traded. He doesn't want to get traded. Like, so what statement is he making? That's what frustrates me so much. So I know there's going to be a lot of narrative around this game. I disagree completely with your hold your nose pick of the week, because honestly, Green Bay is my survivor pick of the week as well. So for me, hammer Green Bay first half. And I know it's a Joe Schmo pick as well, but I like Green Bay, and that's one of my public bets as well. And I have to do it. But my hold the nose pick this week,
Johnny Public
is just
over here.
Is just I labeled it out. All right, I labeled them out, and I gave reasons for each one. I believe they were valid, but we'll see. We'll see how they go.
Yeah, who you got?
My hold the nose pick is even, I think, more disgusting
than the Lions?
Than the Detroit Lions Green Bay Monday night.
Oh, man.
Even more disgusting.
Oh, my gosh.
One of the teams there's
only one other game. There's only one other game that I think says disgusting, so I hope it's
a last double-digit spread game, man. It's the last double-digit spread game, and that's Houston at Cleveland. Cleveland, they should have beat Kansas City last week. All right?
Yeah.
Their running game is unbelievable. Chubb, Hunt.
Yep.
The defense is crazy. They're going to the dog pound. Houston stinks. Tyrod Taylor. All this nonsense. What's going on with Deshaun Watson?
It's Tyrod.
I loved what I saw from Houston last week.
Yeah.
They're playing like they have a chip on their shoulder. They killed it last week. They're gonna sneaky cover so many games. They're gonna make people absolutely miserable. And on the other side of this, you have Cleveland minus 12. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Minus 12 and a half for the Cleveland Browns? Like, no. They run the ball. Like, even if they're up 21-0.
Yep.
They're not going to score for the rest of the game. They're going to get two more field goals for the rest of the game. They're going to run it all day long. I do not trust Cleveland minus 12 and a half at home. Give me Houston. Cleveland could win 20-10. They could like shut them down the whole game. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that they could win 20-9. Like 3 field goals, not even let them get a touchdown the whole game, and they can still cover this game. So for me, they're also going to be in your tease yourself teaser, which we're teasing at this moment for later in the show.
Yeah.
But Houston plus 12 and a half. Give me that. Hold your nose and take that game.
So yeah, this is your hold your nose pick. This was my what am I missing pick of the day, because I just don't get how the Houston Texans are getting more points than the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons kicked 2 field goals in the red zone last week and did absolutely nothing else. The Texans put up 30-something points and looked good. How are they getting more points? I mean, the Browns and the Bucks, maybe you could say that the Bucks are a little bit better, but then that's why. But
a lot better.
You think the Bucks are a lot better than the Browns?
Absolutely.
Oh man, I don't know about a lot better, but I
The
don't. Yeah.
Browns are gonna win the wild card, if that.
I think Browns are gonna win the division. I mean, we talked about it last week,
Oh,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the Browns win that game last week. It's a whole different story. But all right. So then the Bucks are a lot better than the Browns. Why aren't the Falcons getting even
Exactly.
more points? Like
Yeah,
this line
yeah,
makes absolutely no sense. I don't understand it at all. And yet 60% of the money's coming in on the Browns.
exactly. Give me Houston.
Like what am I missing? I don't know what I'm missing. I don't understand it. Give me the Texans. That's it. Like if I can't figure it out, someone can
Okay.
explain it to me. If you're on Twitter, Winning Picks Weekly, hit us up, let us know. Comment on the YouTube video. What am I missing in the Houston Texans Cleveland Browns game? Because I just don't get why they're getting more points than Atlanta Falcons going up against the defending Super Bowl champions. I think in
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. If this was the same, like the Falcons should be getting 22 points then. It makes absolutely no sense. Texans look good. Texans look good week 1. I don't get it at all.
Okay, yeah. Some agreement. Some agreement, folks.
Finally,
Let's go.
It took the Houston Texans for us to get on the same page, but we're on the same page now.
Let's go. Let's go. So, do you have another what am I missing pick for the week?
Yeah. Well, I mean, another one of my missing pick was Detroit. We kind of talked about that a little bit. Just talking about them getting so many points against Green Bay, who put up 3.
Yeah, you're
points
missing.
week
You're
one.
missing that their offensive line is gone, and
Aaron Rodgers
the
MVP.
and Rodgers MVP coming back, and
Yep.
their defensive line is now healthy, and Bakhtari, the Green Bay offensive line is now going to be healthy, and they're going to absolutely murder Detroit. That's what you missed,
It's gonna
but
be.
okay.
I feel like I agree with you. The more
I got
we
you
talk
on that.
about it, it's gonna be a get right game. But
Yeah.
my other one of my missing pick. This is another one I just don't understand at all. How are the Chicago Bears favorites? How they stink. Andy Dalton stinks. The coach stinks.
So
the
Cincinnati,
GM stinks,
it's Cincinnati at
everyone.
Chicago.
Yep, and yeah,
Minus
Cincinnati
2.5.
looked good. Yep. So yeah, Cincinnati at Chicago minus 2.5. Cincinnati won outright against Minnesota last week. Granted, they were home. Granted, they went to overtime, but they still got the job done. The Bears, again, this line opened at 3. We have it at 2.5. It's now down to 1. So to me, that just indicates to me that Las Vegas is like, oh, we fucked this up, and we gave the Bears at 3. Someone was asleep at the wheel.
Greg, do you hear yourself?
Eventually, it's going to be
Greg, you know the answer. You know the answer already, but you don't even know it, Greg.
Yeah. So help me. What am I
Vegas? I'll tell you. Does Vegas ever wake up and say, "Oh, I messed up. Oh,
I think so. They move
happened."
lines.
Greg, this is a reverse line. The public.
It's not a reverse line.
It is reverse line. The money is on New Orleans coming off of Jameis Winston.
Wait, we're talking about 2 different games. We're talking about the Bengals Bears.
Oh, sorry. We're talking about Bengals Bears. It
Yeah.
opened. What did it open at? Sorry.
3.
What did it open at?
3.
No, earlier than that.
I don't know. I see. Just on my site it says open -3, current -1.
Okay, so earlier than that,
Yeah.
it was like before week 1 happened.
Okay.
Cincinnati was the favorites.
Okay.
So this line moved from Cincinnati all the way to Chicago.
Okay.
And now it's sort
Now it's
of
moving back. So Vegas can't make up their mind. 2 weeks ago.
I think this is easy Chicago.
Oh my God.
This is easy Chicago at home. That's what you're missing. This is easy Chicago at
As
home.
a Southerner would say, bless your heart.
Either Andy Dalton get right game revenge, right? Which if he stinks, he stinks.
Andy
guess what?
Dalton
You think-
lost his job to Ben DiNucci last year, who's not in the league anymore.
Okay, Greg, I have a question. You think that they're gonna keep Andy Dalton out there in Soldier Field getting booed when their boy is sitting right there?
I think so. I think
You're
Matt
out of your
Nagy's that
mind.
dumb.
You're out of your mind. Justin Fields
Alright.
is coming in that game. If Andy Dalton stinks, and if you're right, I don't care about Andy Dalton. Like I'm not gonna die on the hill, man. If he stinks, he stinks. But
we know he stinks. He's been in the league
that's
for
fine.
10 years. We know
That's
he's
fine.
not
Justin Fields with no tape will come in and win this game. So
This is-
I like
this
Chicago.
is- I don't know if you remember a few years ago when the Cleveland Browns drafted a guy called Baker Mayfield. I don't know if you remember that game and the game that he started
Never heard
in the
of him.
middle of. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that. We were all over the Jets. We bet the Jets heavy. The Jets were absolutely killing the Browns. And then some guy, I don't even know who was quarterbacking. I don't know if it was Tyrod Taylor at the time or whoever else got hurt. And this guy, Baker Mayfield, came in and ended my career and made him Mortal enemy number 2 after Tom Brady for me. I hate Baker Mayfield with all my heart because he won that game. So this gives me those big vibes now that you're saying it, where like Andy Dalton comes out and then all of a sudden, like Justin Fields comes down, gets a game-winning drive or a game-winning field goal, and they end up covering. That being said, I'm taking the Bengals though. I think the Bengals were good week 1. I think the Bengals are legit. As a crappy team, they're not like a legit good team, but as these crappier teams go compared to like the Bears, I think they're head and shoulders above the Bears. I think they have more weapons on offense. They have a much better quarterback. I don't know. They honestly might have a better O line. People don't talk about Chicago Bears O line. Probably one of the worst in the whole entire league. Defenses on both sides stink. I don't care what anyone says about the Bears defense. The Bears defense was good
stink.
3 years ago.
No, Bears defense stinks, but they're gonna beat Cincinnati.
Yeah,
in Soldier Field. I personally think that. But
I mean, Justin Fields was two for two with the touchdown, rushing touchdown last week, and they didn't put him back in after the rushing touchdown. So
yeah, they got to give Andy Dalton that home game versus the Bengals. That's what he's here for.
Yep.
We'll see how he does.
Revenge game. People aren't talking about a little revenge game.
That's what I'm saying. Let's see how he does in the first half. If not, he's not coming back out. I promise you. Soldier Field would kill him, and Nagy wants a job. Trust me, he's not gonna gaze his way through it. I don't believe.
Yep. So yeah, I got the sense in that one. That's the rest of my what am I missing games because I just could not figure out why the Bears were favorites. That made no sense.
Okay. Let's jump to our best bets.
Okay.
Let's jump to our best bets real quick, and I mentioned them a second ago because they're just on my mind. The New Orleans Saints at Carolina catching 3.5.
Okay.
I mean,
what are you thinking? This is one of your best bets, right?
This is my best bet.
By the way, one of my best bets are the Bengals. Bengals money line. So
okay.
Throwing that out there.
Okay. I like that. One of my best bets is Carolina plus 3.5 in the money line.
Okay. Why? What are you liking?
Dude, first of all, New Orleans was absolutely unbelievable last week. Jameis Winston killed it. Sean Payton, MVP. He's unbelievable what he was able to do. We all know that he spends his offseason writing plays and thinking about the next game. So shout out to him. He killed it. And Lattimore was all over the field, dude. He was an absolute hawk. I rewatched that game.
Yep.
Dude,
unbelievable. He got $100 million for a reason. He got $100 million for a reason, man.
But the issue, man, he got hurt.
Yeah.
He's out. He's out this week. And not only is this a division game, and Carolina's getting 3 and a hook, Carolina has really good defense. Not only is their front 7 pretty good, but their cornerbacks are stout. Deontay Jackson and Jace Horn are stout. Like stout cornerbacks. So I think they're going to lock down Jameis Winston. I think the linebackers are going to have an interception. I think the cornerbacks are going to have an interception. And I believe that Carolina is going to honestly win pretty handedly. They're going to beat the Saints. This is one of my easy bets. Spicy. Yeah. No one's going to stop Christian McCaffrey, and they're just going to run through them. That's what I personally think. I think this is take 3.5, take the money line. And you're going to have to sweat out Sam Darnold a little bit, but that's just the name of the game.
See, now that you said that, I kind of like the under 44.5. I think Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, you get the both things on both sides. A lot of running, a lot of short passes. 80% of the money's on the over. I kind of like the under in that one. I'm on the Panthers as well. I like the Panthers plus the point. I get a little worried because even though they're a home team getting points, there's the Publix on this one. So that worries me a little bit about it. But like you kind of said to start, I feel like the Saints game was just fluky is the word I would describe it. I think the Packers were unbelievably bad out of nowhere. I think that Jameis Winston had 5 touchdowns and 150 yards. Like weird stuff that you don't see every day. So, I think this is more of a get-right game. Also, too, people want to talk about me and my Texans pick last week for Jacksonville for the Survivor.
Yeah.
I was all over the Cardinals, all over the defense, saying that the defense was much improved. They were investing a lot over the last few years. The defense looked good. Granted, it was against us, the Jets, so we'll see how it goes up against the Saints. I think they're a little bit more high-powered than us on the offensive side of the ball. But Matt Rule, like I said, turning around. I mean, for me, too, I gave out the Panthers to make the playoffs. The Panthers can start 2-0, especially against the division. opponent here with the Saints. I think there's a great spot for them to be in. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit. I mean, we'll see about the scoring wise, but I like the Panthers again. Home team getting points, especially at 3.5. You get the field goal and the hook. It could come down to a field goal at the end. So I like the Panthers. I'm with you on this. I might actually take a little bit on the money line too, just because I think there's a shot they win it outright.
Yeah, I think this is. I honestly, this is easily my easiest bet, and my
Ooh,
second one comes pretty close. Like it's really 1A and 1B this week again.
okay.
I really have. I know I keep giving three best bets, and that's what makes it difficult because I feel like there's two every week that really pop out at me.
Yep.
Last week was Arizona and Philly, and then I threw on New England. This week it's
Yep.
Carolina and Philly. Philly making another comeback, man. I think
Yeah.
is Philly jumping to to one of my favorite bets this year.
Yeah.
Usually the Philadelphia Eagles are to me what the Falcons are to you in betting.
Yeah.
Usually I get Philly wrong, but I really like them. I really like their offensive line. I really like their defensive line. I think that they are going to honestly torture San Francisco. I don't think San Francisco is that good, man.
Yeah.
I know that Debo Samuel's really good. I know they had a bunch of cluster injuries in the secondary. I don't think that Bosa's going to do anything against the Eagles line, and so
Yeah.
that's their strength, and I think that's one of the Eagles' strengths. So I think if that's canceled out, I like Jalen Hurts. I think they're nasty, man. They got a couple good backs out there. This is it's also 3.5 at home, and the money line. It's like almost yelling at me, like you have to take those two and the money line and just sit back and watch those. At the same time, 1 p.m. red zone. Those are going to be two fun ones I think to keep an eye on and two easy bets.
Now, yeah, I love it too. I mean, I'm happy that we're on the same side on your best bets. I'm taking Philadelphia here. 55% of the money's coming in on San Francisco. So you got your fade in the public, home team getting points. Honestly, I feel like a broken record at this point. Like as we're going through it, this might be one of the biggest slates with like home teams getting a field goal or
Yeah.
more. Like it's insane how many home teams are getting points. And I'm not sure what the
And it's classic
breakdown.
overreaction week one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Classic. It's so classic. That's why what's important, Greg, is of course the line, but it's really, the philosophy behind each game.
Yep.
Why we're making these picks.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think that the Eagles are better than what people expected. I mean, I know they had a rookie coach going, but he looked pretty good. He's in tune with his players. I think Smith, I was a little concerned about him and his size, just like I'm concerned about Elijah Moore and the Jets' size. And he hit the problem with Devonta Smith is that he's just open. So
Yeah, he's
size,
fast.
no size doesn't matter. He just gets open. He
Yep.
runs.
If
He's
he
a
could
good
stay
route
healthy, he'll
runner.
be good
Yeah,
to go.
yeah. That's his big thing. He's got to stay healthy. He's a smaller guy, so he's gonna take some hits. But, with
Okay.
Ertz and Goddard there, I think they have some decent patch catchers. I think, Hurts is the real deal at quarterback. So I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles plus the points.
All right. All right. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. One of my difficult 1 p.m. games, I believe, and I'd
Very
like to hear
tough.
your notes on it, is Raiders at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 5.5.
Very, very tough. Um, Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like both these teams, both Las Vegas and the Steelers, kind of weren't expected to win their games, and they both came out and had good showings. I think the
It's
Steelers.
funny. It's the same exact spread for both of these games, right? It was 5.5. It dropped to 4
Yep.
for Ravens to Raiders, and on the opposite side, it was 6.5. Went down to 5.5 for the Steelers, depending on which books you were at right before kickoff.
Yeah. So, I'm sticking with the points. I'm sticking with fade in the public. Public's on the Steelers. Points are with the Steelers. So give me the Raiders. I think that their defense is a little bit better than what people expected. I think they got some good linemen in there, a couple guys that are just healthy and playing well. So I like the Raiders in this one. 5.5. I mean, if it gets up to 7, you definitely have to bet it. But even at 5.5, I think the Steelers, like I said, and when we were talking about it earlier, their offense doesn't scare me as much as they did in the past. It's really that defense. And I think with the Raiders, you just have Waller and you just throw the ball to him 30 times a game, and he's gonna get you. He's
But
gonna get you down the field.
not against the Steelers, man. This not the
Yeah,
Steelers don't let that happen. They have the stout linebackers. They don't let that stuff happen. And Las Vegas wasn't supposed to win last week. Yes, however, it was their first home game. They
yeah,
had the crowd.
that's true.
Depleted Baltimore. It went to overtime, and I think that perception of them, doing that and beating Baltimore, is really giving them a little too much credit. And
Okay.
I think that people are not sold on the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers, like you said last week, went 12-0 last year, and I
Yeah.
feel like people are still on that kick. Like, yeah, who cares? Steelers won game. Big Ben didn't look that great. It all relied on the defense. It was sloppy. You know what I mean? It's not like they dropped 5 touchdowns, 3-1, quote unquote Antonio Brown. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? 2 to Le'Veon Bell. It's not like that right now.
Yeah.
Even though Claypool showed out, D Johnson, of course, gets his stuff, Juju, but
Yep.
I'm rolling with Pittsburgh. I even though this is a typical Pittsburgh wins by 5 game,
Yep.
which is I think is hilarious. But yeah,
I do
I
like
would roll with the
Pittsburgh at home.
Steelers. I would
Yeah.
I would roll with the Steelers here. I think the Raiders make too much of a big deal of making it loud when they're on defense and being quiet when they're on offense, and they're always going like this, and I just feel like they are going to be a big home team
Yep.
when they're not versing a marquee traveling team like
Right.
Baltimore. Baltimore's on. They're not going to travel, especially for the first game. The Raiders.
Yeah,
So when
they
the
have
Raiders
Yeah.
are packing out the house in Vegas, I think that they're a good side. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, I think they played really well against Buffalo. So give me Pittsburgh. I don't love this game, but I have to pick every single game.
Yep.
I'm taking Pittsburgh -5.5 all the way up to 7. I'll take 7. I'm
Yeah.
not taking 7.5. That's
Yeah.
way too much.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Raiders.
Okay.
Like I said, I think I'm just sticking with the teams getting points. The underdogs were barking last week. I think they're going to keep going this week. So,
Okay.
and I also like to when the underdog and I'm fading the public all in the same bet. So,
Okay. Let's talk about another one. Let's talk about another one like that, which,
Oof.
in my opinion, is one of the most interesting games of the week. And this is one of the games that's going to depend a lot on the injury report. It's the Rams at the Colts. So we have the West Coast Rams, who absolutely killed it last week. Yada, yada, yada. We know the story.
Yep.
They're going into Indy, and we know that story. Carson Wentz stinks. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? It's perfect. It's the perfect, Stafford MVP, Rams Super
Yeah.
Bowl, Carson Wentz, XFL, Colts fire everyone. It's a perfect storm.
Yep.
Yet it's +4, for the home opener. And it's hard to play in Indy at Lucas Oil, dude. That's not an easy place to play in that indoor stadium. That's Pat McAfee all about it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I like the Colts in this one. I think that, to your point, all the storylines are trending towards the Rams. The money's on the Rams.
The line movement's insane, dude. The line movement's insane. 2 weeks ago, it was the Rams were dogs.
Yeah.
So we mentioned it at the top. The standard is -3 at home,
Yep.
right? So if Indy's +4, that means in reality they're saying it's 7 points.
Yep.
For the Rams. Now, if the Rams had started this as dogs, I think they opened at +1, and now they're at -4. Think about that line movement. It's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Just based on that, I have to take the Colts. I have to. However, there is a huge asterisk. Darius Leonard is on the injury report this week.
We talk
My
about him
boy.
every year. You base your Colts picks on him. I love it, and that's usually right.
Darius Leonard,
Really?
their right tackle, is possibly hurt. However, Eric Fisher might come back. The guy the Kansas City Chiefs tackle who tore his
Yes.
ACL in January,
Yep.
he's signed here and he has been good to go. He might actually play this week. So if he plays, and Darius Leonard, if we have one of the tackles playing
Yep.
and Darius Leonard, stick with the pick. But if Darius Leonard's out, dude, I can't. I physically cannot take the Colts if Darius Leonard's out. So
funny.
that's going to be
my.
my caveat.
Yeah, I feel like the Rams just got. I mean, I think the Rams played an inferior team last week. I think they had some big plays that people are freaking out about Matt Stafford and all this stuff, which is a great storyline. It's the LA market, so obviously it's going to get a lot of play. But I just don't think you're going to get those big plays against the Colts. I could be wrong about that. Granted, they gave up big plays last week to the Seahawks, so maybe I am
Definitely.
very wrong about that.
I mean, the
Um,
Seahawks are different, man. We'll
yeah,
get into the Seahawks, but dude, the Seahawks are just built different.
yeah, they are.
Everyone forgets the magician every single year, even sometimes week to week. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, he's
It's
Mr.
crazy.
Unlimited.
Dude, he honestly is Mr. Unlimited, man. He's a beast, dude.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm going with the Colts. Like I said, I just like the home team getting points, especially when it's 3.5. So you're getting the hook. I'll take that every time.
Unlimited.
Yeah, you gotta say it like that, otherwise you're doing them dirty.
So the last of the 1 o'clock games, man. The last of the 1 o'clock
Save the
games
best for last.
is our New York Jets. I'll be there, coming off a wedding that I'm in, a groomsman in.
Yep.
Saturday night, I'll be there at MetLife. I'm taking +6. Just I don't even want to talk about it. It's +6.
How do
It's
you
plus
not?
6. It's +6.
How do you not? Like that's what I don't get. I get that Bill Belichick's the rookie quarterback killer, all that stuff, but they have a rookie quarterback too. So much money is on the Patriots. I just don't get it. The lines jump
Taking the
3 or
money
4
line.
points.
Taking the money line.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, Greg.
Like I said, I like the second half adjustments that we saw. We finally have a coach. It's been 3 or 4 years. The Jets haven't had a coach. So yeah, I like the Jets in this one too. Home team getting points. Gonna say that till I die. It seems like every freaking game this week is a home team getting points. I better be right about it, otherwise it's gonna be a terrible, terrible card. So.
Oh man, we can't have two of those, but we are
Oh
opposite on a
no.
lot of teams, so you'll probably be wrong on a couple,
Of course.
but we're on to 4 o'clock, and there's no more home teams getting points, Greg. So
Okay, good.
in my opinion, these actually might be the three most difficult spreads of the week. And honestly, personally, we're here to be honest. Right? There's
Oh.
nothing to hide here. 4 p.m. games, I'm usually pretty bad at. Honestly,
Yeah.
like the 4 p.m. and the prime time and the Eagles. Like you got to be self-aware. Over unders, right? Like this is not my specialty.
It's funny. I feel like we do these pick'em leagues every year, and every year we say we get one window almost perfect, and we get one window totally wrong. And because you have to get both windows perfect, it doesn't matter. If there could be
Yeah.
4 games in the 4 o'clock window, we could get all 4 wrong, and we get all 7 or 8 right in the 1 o'clock window. So you're
Doesn't
like, oh,
matter.
8 and 4, that's a great week. Like, no, you have to get both
Someone's got
windows
10.
right. Yeah, someone's got 10. Exactly. So I'm with you in that. My thing is I never know if it's the 1 o'clock window or the 4 o'clock window until after the fact if I was good or not. So if I knew beforehand, I'd be a rich man. But which game are we starting with here?
So there are 4 o'clock games. One of them we already talked about
Yep.
was Atlanta at Tampa Bay, which honestly is a pretty hard, right? -12.5. It's a difficult line, right? Atlanta stinks. Everyone knows Tampa amazing. Super
Yep.
Bowl, yada, yada, yada. Only 12.5. They go in by 10 and still cover the game. So it's a difficult one. So let's go with Mr. Unlimited for the second one. He's home. Let's not forget that Seattle's home field advantage is unbelievable.
Unreal.
Like
12th
like
man for a reason.
it's so loud. So Tannehill coming into Seattle. Henry doesn't look that good. As we all know, he gets better as the season goes on.
Yep.
Julio and AJ Brown really doesn't do it for me right now, especially early. Their defense stinks. Their offensive line is getting manhandled.
Embarrassed.
Shout out to Bustin' with the Boys.
Embarrassed. I was going to say it, but embarrassed.
Dude, -5.5 it's a public on Tennessee. Like when I checked, the public was on Tennessee. Do you still have it like that at the moment?
The public was on Tennessee. We need to fix our school systems because there's no way.
The last time I checked, the money was on
It's
Tennessee.
Technically, yes. It's 52-48 Tennessee.
Dude, this is my third best bet. We finally have reached it. This is my third best bet. Seattle -5.5.
If you look at a different website I'm looking at, it's disgusting. 73% of the money is on the Tennessee Titans.
I'm telling you, it's on the public, dude. I'm telling you, they're on
Oh.
Tennessee. This is my third best bet. And I think I'm gonna go 3-0 this week. I really do. I
Oh,
went 2-1 last week. So if you took the parlay on the three and you took them separately, you're still up because you
yep,
took that parlay for half a unit.
yep.
And you double the best bets because of the best bets. So you'd still be up a hefty amount. But this week I might go 3-0, Greg, because Mr. Unlimited, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf is gonna get his. Chris Carson is gonna get his. Like these people haven't started eating yet. The offensive line looks great. Dwayne Brown looks fantastic. The Seahawks are nothing to mess with, especially at home. And the Tennessee Titans absolutely stink. I love that the public is on Tennessee. Best bet number 3, Seattle, Seattle, Seattle.
I honestly want to tail this bet because I did not realize that so much money was on Tennessee. It's
Join the club,
crazy.
man. Join the club with
All
our
right,
rest
I'll
of our
join it.
listeners.
I'll go with you. All right. So add it to my card. Seattle best bet. So it's funny for the 1 o'clock windows. I was just looking at it. I think I have underdogs in every single game, and then also for the 4 o'clocks, I have
Oh
Atlanta as
no.
an underdog, but a little preview. I go favorites for the rest of them because I thought I was bucking the trend and going against I was going with the public in Seattle. Like you said, there was a couple games that you kind of followed the public on. I thought Seattle was one of those. The fact that the public is on Tennessee blows my mind. So
Yeah, man.
Seattle for me. I love Seattle. Under a touchdown. I mean, if it gets bet up to like 6 or 7, or if it gets bet up to 7 to 7.5. Maybe I would think about it, but honestly, the Titans. We talked about it. We talked about it in our week 1 episode. Titans have no defense. They just don't have a defense,
No, or
and
offensive line.
or offensive line apparently, and people just don't talk about it. Or quarterback, and maybe not wide receivers. So, or coach. I mean, what's his name? Missed what 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah, I
Vrabel,
mean
I think.
he was okay last week. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk too much slander on the wide receivers. I really like them. Like I like AJ and Julio. I think they're gonna come
Neither are
in a
ever
couple of
healthy.
weeks. But yeah, this is easy. This is easy for me.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, I like Seattle plus 5.5 here. I think they get it going at home. I think you're gonna see big time plays for them. Again, I think Russ cooks in the first half of the season. We'll see if they can do it all season long. I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to. So,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting
Okay.
them early here. I like them.
Okay. So we got 2 more games to go. One of the games is really going to depend on where you get this line because there's some cluster injuries coming in Dallas, man. Some
Yep.
cluster injuries. Lawrence broke his foot in practice today. We got Lyle Collins out. We have Gregory out with COVID. This is tough, man, especially because the America's team, Dallas, whether you like it or not, the public is with them no matter what, and especially coming off a loss where they look pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
I
Dak
mean,
looked
yeah.
good. Dak looked good. You know, like and now Gallup's out as well. I don't think Amari Cooper's gonna have the game that he had. I think Zeke is gonna have the game that he had, and I don't think Dak Prescott's gonna have the game that he had. Sorry for being repetitive there,
Yep.
but it's just a fact. This is a fact of the matter. If you can get it at -3, you got to hammer that. Chargers have a stout defense.
Yep.
Herbert looks fantastic. The offense looks great.
Telling you, I bet so much money
Minus
on them.
three, -3. Honestly, it might be. It might. That's my fourth. You know, my runner up
Yeah.
best bet.
Honorable mention, best bet.
Honorable mention is going to be the LAC Clippers. I like to call them because every time
Yeah.
I see LAC, all I can think of is
The
the Los Angeles
Clippers.
Clippers.
Yep.
So I got the Clippers -3.
We're on the
If you can
same
get a
page.
-3, I would bet it up to 6,
Yeah. Under a
six and a
touchdown.
half. I
Yep.
wouldn't go 7. I mean, take the push, but I definitely won't go over the touchdown.
Yeah, just with the offense that Dallas has, I guess you never really know. But I think, I mean, like I said, I bet a lot on the Chargers last week. I was watching every play. I think the offense is the real deal. I
I
said
think it's
that.
gonna jump. I think I really do. I know it's crazy to say it might go from -3 to -6.5 in 2 days, but
So many
sometimes injuries
injuries.
do move that. But the public is on Dallas, so I don't think it's gonna move that much. It might go to like 4.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like the Chargers. I said, again, week 1. Love the Chargers. Like the Chargers for the division. Like Herbert. Like everything there. So they look good. I mean, you couldn't walk down the field more than the Chargers did in the first half against Washington. It was unbelievable. It was 7 yards. The guy was in his route, in rhythm, caught the ball, went down, got
Ron
up,
Rivera's
ran the
gonna
play
fix
again.
that, bro. Ron
It
Rivera's
was
gonna fix that.
it was insane. But the Chargers, I mean, God bless you. I think that they have it this year. We'll see. I think the offensive line's pretty good, and especially if the Cowboys have a lot of injury on the defensive line. I mean, we saw last week with the Cowboys, and we saw it all last year. They don't have a defense. I think the Chargers are going to light them up, and I think the Chargers, they might be able to slow down that Dallas offense a little bit. So, give me the Chargers up to 6.5, but right now we have it at -3. So I'm running to the kiosk to put that in if I can get it at -3.
Definitely, definitely. And now for our final game, one of the most interesting lines, right? And I would say this is the most trendiest line, if that's an okay word. So Arizona, like we mentioned last week and the top of this pod.
Yep.
One of my favorite bets to win the division. I got it at +800. It's already down to +400.
Yep.
Kyler Murray, MVP. You had that. I mean, we're all over Arizona. However, I think they might be already a little bit overrated from the overreaction week 1. We got Beachum, the right tackle, who the former Jet. He's injured, so we'll see what happens. I think Chandler Jones might regress a little bit from the 5 sacks, just a tiny bit. I don't really see him getting 4 or 5 sacks a game. But most importantly, man, the most important trend, and why I say it's the trendiest game, is because Mike Zimmer, the coach of the Minnesota Vikings, is the cover king.
Yeah.
The absolute cover king. Since joining the Vikings, 58% against the spread, only behind the Pats and just ahead Kansas City. You know what they are as an underdog? 60%, bro.
God.
60% since 2014 as an underdog. Cliff Kingsbury as a favorite since he took over in Arizona in 2019.
Yep.
36%. And just to keep it fair, Mike Zimmer since 2019 as a dog, 54%.
Okay.
I mean, I have to take Minnesota +4 here. I don't care. You just have to. So I'm taking Minnesota, and that would be my second runner-up. Best bet just because of the trendy. If you're a guy who likes to bet with the trends, you gotta take this. If you like to fade the public, you gotta take the Clippers/Chargers.
Yep.
Those would be that's why they're like my runner-ups. Like if you just like to play those, like I'll just like this trend, or hey, I just like to fade this public, plus they got cluster injuries, I would take the Chargers. Those would be that's why they're like my runner-ups.
Gotcha.
What do you got on this game?
I like the Cardinals in this one. I think they're the real deal. I think they're a Super Bowl contender if this defense and offense can play the way they play. We'll see how they hold up all season long. Vikings, I'm down on the Vikings. I mean, I was down on them going into last week. That's why I was on Cincinnati.
Yep.
But
you had that right.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer, I think he's kind of past his prime a little bit. Yeah, he covers a lot, which is good. But the line being 4.5 is, it's moving to 3.5. I think that's just to try to get people to bet on the Vikings. I think this might be my only public bet of the day, because I think 60% of the money is on the Cardinals, but I'm taking the Cardinals. I think they're for real. I think that if the Vikings are going to give up 24 points, 27 points to the Cincinnati Bengals, there's no telling what the Cardinals can put up on them. Tons of weapons. Kyler Murray's the real deal. I think he continues his MVP campaign at home opener, all that good stuff. I like the Cardinals in this one. It's kind of bucking the trend of the rest of my picks, but I like.
You gotta take one, man.
Yeah,
there's always one. There's always one, and that really wraps up our full games. But this brings me to my favorite part, man. My favorite part of Sundays.
The real degenerate comes out.
Yeah, man. This is why we like Sundays, man. The individual games are one thing, -110. Those are fun, but this is why we're here, man. We're here for a couple things, for our best bets, and let's go over those again really quick. Mine are Carolina +3.5, and definitely sprinkle on the money line. Take Philly plus 3.5 and definitely sprinkle on the money line. And you take Seattle minus 5.5. And if you take just the spreads, as we all know, you parlay those three, hopefully goes 3-0. It's plus 600 odds. So you do that, what you will.
Yep.
Greg, what are your three best bets of
So
the week?
yeah, I didn't get to say it a second ago, but Cardinals are one of my best bets. Bengals money line are one of my best bets. And then Seattle minus 5.5. You parlay those three. Again, Bengals, if you take the money line, I think it's like +1. So there's just no point in taking +1 in the NFL, even though they did almost tie last week. So you get it at +110 if you take the money line. I guess it's 656 if you bet $100 on it. So those are my three best bets. That's gonna be my best bet parlay this week. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think I'm going to take yours with the money lines in there just because I think Carolina has a shot. I think Philly has a shot just to win it outright.
Yeah, so hopefully we do a little bit better on our best bets. You can't do any worse on your best bets, and hopefully I am able to.
Season.
Hopefully I'm able to improve so that my best bet parlay hits.
Yeah.
But Greg, we got a little something extra for the audience today. We got the Hail Mary parlay.
Yep.
What you got for your Hail Mary parlay this week?
So this Hail Mary parlay for me, I'm really trying to this year to look at some money line underdogs that you can put together that have legit shots at winning these games outright. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a Hail Mary. They don't hit a lot, but when they do, they hit big. I'm going Jacksonville plus 215. The Jets plus 215, the Colts plus 158, 160, whatever it is, and the Lions plus 440.
Oh my goodness. Yo, just give me your money. I'll take that back.
100 pays $13,700.
Okay, never mind.
The reason why, the reason why is because of the Lions at plus 440. Again, it was part of my what am I missing stuff. I really don't. I mean, maybe my brain's just twisted because of last week, but the reason why you put these parlays in, so one of the things we talk about parlays is I love to put in these like late in the window. You always have to throw it, for me at least when I put a parlay in, you have to put like a late window game in there so you can hedge it out. So again, if you put $100 on this, it can win $13,725. So if the Jacksonville Jaguars hit, the Jets hit, and the Colts hit, the Lions before that game starts, you go to the ticket window, you put $6,000 on the Packers, and you hedge it out. So this way, no matter what, you're winning a couple thousand. So could happen, might not.
Okay.
Happened to me last week for some college football and some NFL stuff. So you never know.
Okay.
You never know.
Okay, so your Hail Mary is 4 money lines: Jacksonville, Jets, Colts, Lions, all severe money line underdogs. So
yeah,
that'd be cool if that hits. Plus 13,000. Mine is a little bit more conservative.
Okay.
It's literally a tenth of your hit, but I really think it could hit. And I'm here to win money, man. I'm here to win money. So my Hail Mary risk is Eagles and Panthers spreads, which are my best bets. We're gonna throw in Denver and Tampa Bay money line. We're going to throw in Hawks and Kansas City money line. And we're going to throw in Green Bay money line.
Okay.
All those hit, it's plus 1,300.
Okay.
I mean, you put down $100, you win $1,300. I mean, what else could you possibly want? For me, that's your Hail Mary risk parlay. You got games going all throughout, including the Monday night. Like you said, if you want to cash out early, if you want to hedge out, you have your choice there. Again, Eagles and Panthers spreads, and then Denver, Tampa, Hawks, Chiefs, and Packers money line. $100 wins you $1,300. Greg, this is your favorite. I think your favorite segment of the day is the tease yourself teasers.
Ugh.
Greg, what's your teaser of the week?
My teaser of the week is, so for the teasers, again, if you put a 4-team teaser in, I think you get 6 points. Depending on where you're looking and stuff like that. So for these, you're going to have to buy another point. So you're going to put your teaser in when you're at the kiosk or you're doing it or whatever it is, and then you're going to buy another point. It's going to drop the odds down a little bit, but you're going to get a much better number. So I'm taking first is the Steelers. If you tease it and you buy the point, you get them at +2, which doesn't really affect you too much, but these next ones do. You get Buffalo +4 if you buy the point, Cardinals +4 if you buy the point, and then the Chiefs +4 if you buy the point. So again, the Steelers, Buffalo, Cardinals, Chiefs, tease them all together, buy the extra point. $100 pays you $170, and you went from laying points as favorites to getting points, as underdogs. So that's the nice thing about the teaser. Not as crazy odds as the parlay, obviously, but you get extra points, so that's always nice.
All right, and you know what's funny? You went super high risk on the Hail Mary. I
Yep.
went a little bit conservative there. You went a little bit conservative on the tease yourself teaser.
Yep.
I'm going a little bit high risk here.
Yeah,
So
you are.
I'm taking Philly +10.5, Texans 19.5,
It's such a
Colts
crazy
10.5.
spread. It's such a crazy spread. I love the
You gotta.
teasers.
You
I love
gotta,
them.
bro.
Yep.
I'm teasing myself. I'm teasing
Yep.
myself with these teasers. So Philly 10.5, Texans 19.5, Colts 10.5, Kansas City 3 in the hook, Panthers 10 in the hook, Vikings 10 in the hook, and then the toughest one is Green Bay -4.5. But again, that's the last game. If you're
Yep.
not feeling it, if everything is hitting, you could cash out. You can hedge.
Well,
You
the
can figure it out
beautiful thing about hedging with the teaser is that you can hedge it.
normally.
Well, yeah, you can hedge it normally and middle it. So you could take the
Yep.
Lions +10.
Yeah,
Try to hit right in
exactly.
the middle. So
And that's +500 if you take that. So but
that's
it's
nice.
funny how that worked out. And it's interesting that we're on a lot of opposite sides of the full slate. So really quick to end the episode, Greg,
Yeah.
let's go through the full slate to give our listeners who have made it all the way through just a recap.
Okay. Just run right down each game.
We're gonna run it through in order of the game. So let's start Thursday night. Washington
Before
at home
before we do
-3.
that, though, I want to talk about us on social media, Twitter. Find us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Winning Picks Weekly, YouTube, Knicks, Jets, etc. Follow us there. I mean, you guys talk about great stuff awesome Knicks episode yesterday. Incredible Jets episode tonight that's going to be coming out. It's going to be, as much watch as you
Incredible
can get.
guests, man.
Incredible
guests. We got
guests
CP
tonight.
the franchise.
Yep, CP on the
We got
Knicks.
True from Boston Radio on. I mean, we killed it.
Great stuff. So you guys are doing amazing stuff over there. You and Alex, shout out to you guys. And then again for us, Winning Picks Weekly, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. Give us a like, give us a follow. But yeah, let's get into our quick rundown to recap everything for the fans out there.
And let's get out of here. Let's do it. Let's get out of here, man. Thursday night, Giants at Washington. Washington -3. What do you got?
Giants +3.
All right, I got Washington. Buffalo at Miami. Miami +3.5. What do you got?
Miami +3.5.
Again, opposite sides. Give me Buffalo. Got the 49ers at Philly. Philly catching 3 in the hook.
Philly +3.5.
There with you and the money line. Denver at Jacksonville +6. Your favorite team in the NFL.
Jacksonville.
You love them.
Can't get enough
Denver.
of them.
Von Miller's gonna ruin Trevor Lawrence. He's gonna make him quit football, and mine might go to USC
Come on.
after this game.
I want to say stuff. We're doing the rundown, John. We're doing the rundown. Go to the next game.
We got New Orleans at Carolina 3.5.
Carolina +3.5.
Same sprinkle on the money line. Bengals at Chicago -2.5.
Cincy.
Give me your Bears.
Disgusting.
Vegas at Pittsburgh -5.5. Home opener.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Raiders on the road. You make me sick. Give me the Steelers. New England at the Jets +6.
I'm going to lose this bet, but the New York Jets +6.
Just look at the background. Houston at Cleveland. Cleveland -12.5. What do you got?
Houston.
Hold your nose. Take Houston. Don't
Yep.
even look at the game. Don't even turn.
Don't think
close
just
your eyes
throw.
when Hanson
Don't
puts
think
it on.
just throw. You're getting 12 points. Take the 12 points.
Rams, West Coast traveling to Lucas Oil to hopefully play Darius Leonard. Indy +4. What do you got?
Indy.
Indy, if Darius Leonard's there. If not, you stay the hell away from this game. 4 p.m. Atlanta at Tampa. The best team in the league versus the worst team in the league. What do you got?
Spoiler, I never picked the Atlanta game right. I'm taking Atlanta.
I'm taking Tampa minus 12.5. Minnesota at Arizona
Arizona.
-4. I got Vikings +4. Zimmer cover machine. We got the terrible Tennessee Titans. Ooh, that was good. At Seattle, home opener.
Seattle -5.5 all day.
Same fade
Twice
the
on
public
Sunday.
there. Let's fade the public again. Dallas at the Chargers/Clippers.
Clippers
-3.
baby. Chargers -3.
We're both on LA.
Yep.
Even though it's gonna be all Dallas fans there.
Gross.
Sunday Night Football. KC at Baltimore.
This honestly might be my hold my nose pick because I'm taking Baltimore +3.5.
Disgusting. Get my homie. And that revamped offensive line. And then this is absolutely disgusting. Ugh, I can't believe you're doing this. This is
I'm
Detroit.
holding my notes Sunday night and Monday night, back to back.
Monday night, Detroit at Green Bay.
This might be the
Green Bay
easiest bet of the
-11.
week. Detroit +11.
All right, Green Bay is my survivor. I'm taking Green Bay also spread. I also would like to point out I stink at primetime games, and I'm taking the favorites in all three of them: Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. So, I'm just throwing that out there right now.
Come on, Baltimore. Come on, Detroit.
Probably not a great look. The other public bets I'm on this week: KC, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, and Denver. Just the notable ones. In general, I'm passing on the Denver-Jacksonville game, Pittsburgh Raiders, Jets, New England. Those are my notes on week 2. Good luck to everyone. Greg, any last remarks?
No. Give us a like, give us a follow, 5-star review. It helps a lot. We had a surprising amount of listeners week 1. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope we're entertaining as well as informative. So let us know what you guys want us to talk about. I mean, we don't have to go through game in and game out. We could talk about line movement. You know, I forget, John, sometimes some of these people might be getting into gambling for the first time. So, you know, we can break down more stuff. We can give out more content. So let us know what you guys. For you. Yeah, let us know what you guys think. We appreciate it.
All right, let's go Jets, baby.
Let's go Jets.
Recording